करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। चैतन्यं सर्वगं सर्वं सर्वभूतगुहाशयं यत्सर्वविषयातीतं तस्मै सर्वविदे नमः। This is the Tattvamasi Prakaranam, and naturally the discussion is all centered on the Mahavakya Tattvamasi, which here is also expressed as Sadasi, because Tat in Chandogya Upanishad also means Sat. So Sadasi, Tattvamasi, Sadasmi, Tat Hamasmi, Brahmasmi. अन्वय व्यतिरेको हि पदार्थस्य पदस्य च साधयितमित्यत्र युक्तिरेवावधारणे। एतद् अहं स्यात्, दिस इज व्हाट आई एम इति अवधारणे, दैट आई एम सत् ब्रह्म. For determining that, Anvaya and Vyatireka is the Yukti. Padarthasya padasya cha Anvaya Vyatireka, Anya Vyatireka. So, Atma Padartha, Padarthasya Anvaya Vyatireka. Padartha, the meaning of the word or Pada. So, Pada is Atma, Padartha is Drashta, Sakshi. न कदापि दृश्यः साक्ष्यो वा भवति. So that is the padartha. तस्य अलुप्त प्रकाश सन्मात्रतया, because the atma padartha, meaning the word atma, is drashta, sakshi, the consciousness that never suffers a cessation. Ajasya vakrachetasah, avakrachetasah, whose chetas, consciousness, never suffers any change or modification. Swata siddhatva, therefore self-existing, self-shining. The ananyashrayatva, therefore, is independent. It doesn't need any ashraya to be. Na kadabi kasyavi visheshanam atma, therefore, that atma cannot become a visheshanam of anything. So this is, Atma is always Drugeva natu drishyate, is always Druk, and therefore always Visheshya, never Vishesham, in the terminology that is stated here. Tathaya Dushyam, Saksham, Ahankaradi Vishayantam, beginning from Ahankara to the Buddhi, Manaha, Indriyani, Shariram, Vishayas, Tat Anyadina Prakasattagata. All of that depends upon the consciousness for it to shine, for consciousness for it to be. Anyashrayam is always Anyashrayam, always requires another ashraya, another something to sustain and support it. Sada Vishesham, that's always Vishesham in this terminology. Atma is always Visheshya, Anatma is always Vishesham. Tasmad Anagam Apayi Druk Atma Swarum Satyam. So the Atma Swarum is Druk, always witness, consciousness, which never suffers cessation, not subject to therefore creation or destruction, or coming and going, and therefore it is Satyam. It is non-negatable, abhaditam. Tad viparitam asatyam. The contrary to Satya is asatyam, that is anatma, beginning with ahankara up to Vishaya, anurta, jada, parichinna, paradhina, etc. So atma vyavritta, quite devoid of anurtatvam, jadatvam, parichinnatvam, paradhinatvam, paragathatvam, vyavritta. Devoid of all of this is atma, which is satyam, jnanam, anantam, pratyagananda rupam. So also padasya anvaya vyatireka. And that way, etavata vivekena, so this is ahamityatra smadartha vishaya avadharana yukti eva syat. That sat aham, to arrive at this understanding or conclusion, that I am sat, for that this yukti, by yukti also we can arrive at the understanding that I am sat or I am Brahma. But sir, this is knowing the padartha. That means we know therefore that Atma is Visheshya, different from Ahankara, all the way to Vishayas. So this Vyatirika I know. What Atma is not, is I understand. By this Anvaya Vyatirika. Kohamiti jignasaha yaha anuvrittehe, but then still who am I? What I am not becomes clear by Anvaya Vyatirika, but who am I? Tattvamasi, the Vakyam, for that you need the Mahavakya Tattvamasi. So after the Anvaya Vyatirika Pada and Padartha, the question still remains that I am not this, then who am I? Tattvamasi. Kincha avasthatram paraspara vyabhichari. The three states, waking, dream, deep sleep, exclude each other. Nadrakshamidyasmin sushupte anyamanagapi navare dushtim swam pratyam tu nishedati. So, sushupte managapi anyat. There is nothing other than that. Therefore, na adraksha, I did not see anything. Therefore, there is nothing whatever other than the self. So, na adraksham, when I wake up in the morning, then I say I did not see anything whatever. That excludes everything other than I in the deep sleep. No, I am just that does not exclude that I did not know anything, but that knowing was there. Knowing of the absence of everything was there. Therefore, the dushti, the knowing is not negated. So this statement in the morning that I did not know anything does not negate the knowing as such. Pratyam tu nishedati, the object of knowledge is negated, knowledge itself is not negated. स्वयं ज्योति नहीं द्रष्टु इत्येवं संविदा अस्तिताम कौटस्थ्यम च तस्याः प्रत्ययस्य लुप्तताम स्वयं ज्योति. In support of this, there are the Shruti Vakya Swayam Jyoti Atrayam Swayam Jyotirbhavati Nindrashtu Dushte Viprilopa Vityade. Samvid Astitam, the Samvid or consciousness is there in deep sleep state. These statements very clearly say that. Kautasthyam cha, in all the states, the Swayam Jyoti Stvam never suffers any cessation or any change. Pratyasya luptatam. But what is illumined by Swayam Jyoti Atma, that is subject is Agamapai, and that in deep sleep state, it completely ceases to be there. Swameva Bhavishastram. Shastra in its own words says that Atma is, consciousness that Atma is, never ceases to be. In the Pratyaya illuminating the Atma, he is subject coming and going, and therefore in deep sleep, it is totally absent. Pratyavagati pruthak. So pratyaya, the object of consciousness, avagati, consciousness is different from the pratyaya or the state of mind that is limit. Evam vijnada vakyate, Sriloka, evam vijnada vakyate. In this manner, one who has known the meaning of the vakya, Vachyartha, in fact, it should have been Shruti Loka Prasiddhitaha. From Shruti and from Loka Prasiddhi, one who has known now that I am different from Ahankaradi Vishayantam, that I am Alupta Jyotihi, the Pratyaya is something that is Agamapai. Then Koham, that still remains, who am I? Shruti. Tattvamasi ityaha. To one who has known thus oneself is different from the Dushya, from Pratyaya, the eliminator of Pratyaya. And still, I am not this, and koham tattvamasi, you are that. Iti Shruti Ashrotu mohapanuttaye. For eliminating moha or brahma of the Shrota, Shruti says, hey, you are Brahman. And that's all you need. That Upadesh is all that is needed. Because the Shrota is Brahman already. Brahmavai idamagrasit. Idam. The Shrota was Brahman even before he was told that he is Brahman. Brahma dasharathe yadvat yukteva panu dattamaha. Dasharathe tamaha apanud Brahma. So Dasarathi, Lord Rama, by Sankalpa, chose to forget there was Vishnu, and that Atmanam Manusammanye Ramam Dasharathatmajam, that I believe that I am Rama, a human being, son of Dasharatha. Then he says to Brahmaji, Soham yascha yataschaham bhagavan sad bravitu me, who am I? Where have I come from? Bhagavan, please tell me. Then there is Sankalpurukam Abhud Raghunandanasya. Meaning Raghunandana by his own will chose to forget his true nature of Vishnu. Naham vijane iti kanchana kalametada. So Lord Rama resolved that for a period of time I will not know, I will forget my true nature of being Lord Vishnu. Brahmopadesham upalabhya nimittamatram. That tasya Vishnutva sambodhe. He Rama tum Vishnu rasi. He Rama, you are Vishnu. It is sambodhe, when this was addressed this way, then one who was Vishnu saw himself as Vishnu. So this is the praptasya prapti. Tattvamasi is the praptasya prapti, who is already tat. Because of Brahma doesn't know he is tat, he is told that you are tat. So it is just Brahma nivritti. What is being done by the Shruti Mahavakya is Brahma nivritti. Not that something unknown is made known. So that way, the pramanya of the Shruti is in Brahma Nivritti. The standard definition of pramana of illuminating the object. The eyes illumine the colors and forms. That kind of pramanya Upanishad doesn't have or doesn't need because Atma is Swayam Prakasha. So what does the teaching Upanishad do? It removes the Brahma or misconception about what is already experienced. So Brahma can be for something that is already experienced. Atma is Swayam Prakasha, always the object of Anubhava Swarupa. So it can never be that I do not know or I am not aware, I don't experience Atma. And where I experience but I do not recognize, that is where the scope of Brahma is. I experience a rope but do not recognize it as a rope, that is the scope of saying that to be snake. I always experience Atma, do not recognize that I am Brahman, that is where the scope is of the taking myself to be Jivatma, etc. So the example of Rama, meaning that Brahmaji is not teaching something new, not telling Lord Rama something he was not. You are Vishnu, Jiva already was. In case of Jiva, it's not that he has forgotten. In case of Lord Rama, he chose to forget for a period of time so that he can act as a human being. Not that Jiva has forgotten. So that in all that aspect, the Drishtanta does not apply. But forgotten means Rama did not know, that's whatever be the reason. At that moment, Rama did not know that I am Vishnu. So the Jiva does not know I am Brahman. It's made to see that. So Drishtanta says now 101 verse 101 Darshtantika. Tattvamasi is the Darshtanta. Aham shabdasya nisthaya Jyotishi pratyagatmani Sayavokta sadasityevam Phalam tatra vimuktata. Yeah, aham shabdasya nishtha. Nishtha means where does the word aham ultimately culminate into? Although aham is understood as ahankara, but when we probe into what's the nature of aham, tatah padam tat parimargitavyam, then when the parimarganam happens, what's the nature of that aham? Nishtha. Then aham dissolve into what its essential nature is. That's called vichara. That what is this part? What's the nishtha of the part? Then the inquiry will lead to the knowledge that this is clay, from which it cannot be further reduced. That is called nishtha. It goes to the irreducible substratum, they call it. So aham also will ultimately swayam jyotishi. The meaning of the word aham also will ultimately culminate to jyotish or consciousness. Pratyagatmani, which is the innermost self. So this is what aham already is. Aham already is swayam jyotishi. Except that aham is not recognized as such. Sayavukta sadasiti evam. So that nishtha, which is essential nature of aham, is what is told in sadasi. Tattvamasi, sadasi, iti. Just as Lord Rama was Vishnu. And at that moment did not know that I am Vishnu, that I am Rama. He was told you are Vishnu, so also I am Brahman, Sat. I do not know that I am Sat. And I am told that you are Sat. Phalam tatra vimuktata. Lord Rama became free from the notion of his being human being. The helpless, hapless creature crying, etc. became free from that. So also the human being becomes free from all sense of smallness. So Tika explains, evam shabdha prathamam yojyah. Sadasiti evam, second line, saivokta sadasityevam evam. That evam shabda, evam in this manner is to be, because it's a darstanta, in this manner. So yatha tatha. Evam means here tatha. Yatha I am dushtanta, just as evam tatha, similarly. So sadasiti vakyena sa nishtha ukta eva kevalam. Sadasi, your sat. Who is being told? Ahankara is being told. Shvetaketu is being told. You are sat. So since Shvetaketu happens to be sat, he takes himself as Shvetaketu is a different matter. But he happens to be sat there. He said, hey, you are Brahman, then he will inquire into what my essential nature is. Do I have justification in taking myself as Shvetaketu? A mere human being? Do I have justification? Have I taken it for granted? So then one starts inquiring into who am I based on this statement, Aham Brahmasmi. Sa nishtha ukta. So ultimately the meaning of the word Aham, where does it culminate? You can call it Lakshyartha also. Or Nishtha means the ultimate meaning of Aham, the true meaning. Nishtha, therefore, when the teacher says you are Sat or Brahman, he is told what he already is. Nishtha, what his essential nature is, what is being told. No, Anusthapita, not that the teacher is making him appear, making him Sat. Saying that you are Brahman, the teacher doesn't want to make him. So, these statements are merely jnapakam, natu karakam. It just informs you what you are and not makes you something different from what you are. Saka nishtha. So what's the nishtha that the Mahavakya reveals? Aham shabdasyeti. Pratyekatmane. So pratyek atma. Paragarthebhya vyavrutte shodhite atmani. Pratyek is inner. Inner is someone who is different from outer. So whatever is outer is excluded. So then every layer seems to be outer compared to other layer. Just as you take a plant and tree, which has a thick, very stem, and then as you keep on removing one layer after the other, you reach the inner core. Here also Ahankara has different layers one after the other. So whatever is parag, whatever is external, whatever can be objectified, whatever is drishyam, is not aham. Aham simply means subject. And therefore the subject should be released from all the notions of object. Right now aham is combination of subject and object. So buddhi, manaha, indriyani, sharira, many things are included in aham. From that, so paragarthebhya vyavrutte shodhite atmane. With the help of the Shruti, by this anvaya vyatireka. When the meaning of word aham is now by anvaya vyatireka, so whatever is changing, whatever is negatable is dropped in aham. And you ultimately arrive at what cannot be negated. Nirupadi, all upadhis will be negated because they are incidental. Upadhi is something that is incidental. It's like a costume. It's not essential. Nature is that which is essential. So whatever incidental, drop, gross body, subtle body, causal body, etc., etc. Nirupadike resolve into Nirupadika Atma, because Upadi can be dropped. Gross body can be dropped in dream, subtle body can be dropped in deep sleep, that also can be dropped in the knowledge, tamas. Jyotishi, that's the reason why the analysis of deep sleep is carried out. In deep sleep, what is and what cannot be negated is Jyotish. Self-shining consciousness is very much there. Then also it illumines, except there is nothing else to illumine. There is that Viditatmananda, there is no that second thing to illumine. Therefore, there is no knowledge of such and such thing. No awareness of something, but awareness is very much there. Nirupadike Jyotishi Sakshi Swaprakasha Swabhave. Jyotish, Sakshi, Swaprakasha Swabhave, the witness, self-effulgent. Aham Shabdasya Ya Nishtha. That was Aham. So again, this is the Anvaya Vyatireka of Shabda, Pada Anvaya Vyatireka. Ya Nishtha Lakshanaya Parivasita Vritti. So it's called Lakshana Vritti. Saeva. It will be dissolved into simple consciousness. So Saeva Sadasiti Ukta. Aham Shabdasya Nishtha Pratyagatmani Jyotishi. The Nishtha, the ultimate nature of Aham, which is Pratyagatma, Jyotish, self-effulgent, that alone is being said, the Pratyagatma, self-effulgent, is being said by the word Sat when you say you are Sat. Phalam Tatra Vimuktata, he becomes liberated from the notions and therefore bondage. Tatratvam sadasi tadasi the upadesha matrat aham sad brahmasmiti vakyartha jnanoya matra sati vimuktata. Because the listener happens to be Sat or aham brahmasmi, Brahman. Therefore he is made to see, hey, you are Sat. You are not whatever else you take yourself to be. You are not Asat. You are not Parag. You are not Anuta. You are not Jada. You are not Dukkha. So in that, the process of negation takes place. Badha. Asthulam, Ananu, Ahrasvam, Adirgham. That Badha Prakriya, Badha takes place. Upadesha matrat, aham sad brahmasmiti, vakyartha jnanodaya matre sati. If the student is ready to let go what I am not in the light of this statement that you are Brahman, then I say, this intellect I am not, Manaha I am not, Deha I am not. Then aham sad brahmasmi. Is the vakyartha jnanodaya matre sati. So then this vakyartha jnanodaya sadasi. So jnanodaya matre sati. All that you need is the arising of knowledge of this Mahavakya, aham brahmasmi. Vimuktata moha apoha rupa phalam bhavati. Moha apoha rupa phalam vimuktata. Free from moha. Jivatma aham. That I am alpa, I am small, little, helpless, all that moha goes away. In short, the student is made to see what he is. For that, preparation is required. First, Antahakana Shuddhi, and then this teaching, or that you are different from the body, mind, etc., what you are not. And Koham, Brahma you are, Sat you are. Yadva, all this sloka can be interpreted. Drishtantasya dashtantikameva. So either you can say this verse tells you the ashtantika of the Drishtanta, that Brahma and Dasarathi was Drishtanta, and this sloka tells us the Ashtanta, what illustrated by that. Or दृष्टान्तस्य दार्ष्टान्तिकमेव विज्ञातवाक्यादि पूर्वश्लोके एव स्थितं दृष्टि और दार्ष्टान्त already given. Verse 99, एवं विज्ञातवाक्यार्थे श्रुतिलोक श्रुति तत्त्वमसि. So that is already given. Shrutu mohapanutte. Then the drishtanta is given. So if Ashtanta is already, what does this verse do? This verse is interpreted the Ashtanta for the earlier verse is okay. But verse 99 is still Dashtanta for the verse 100 which is Drishtanta. Ayam tu anyatha utthapete. Then this verse 101 is now explained in different way. Nanu Dashrathe bhavet eva vishnutva upadesha matrat. Now you gave example of Dashratihi, Rama is Vishnu. So Vishnu Rahamasmi, for him that I am Vishnu, Jatiti Bodha Bhavet. Yes, I am Vishnu. Tasya Mahamahima Sampan. Who is Rama? Whose example are you giving? Rama is all right. Mahamahima Sampanatvat. Who is Mahamahima? He possesses the greatest of the glories, therefore it's possible. Yes, I am Brahma Vishnu. Katham idanintanasya. But so drishtanta, arshtanta. Now, one way drishtanta is only praptasya prapti. Other way look at drishtanta is Rama. Then who am I? I can't be the arshtanta or Rama. Idanintanasya karta bhokta ityadi pratyakshaviva mithya pratyaya gruhitasya. Idanintanasya. For this modern fellow, karta bhokta ityadi pratyaksha. But I experience myself directly, I am karta, I am bhokta, that is my immediate experience of myself, pratyaksha. Abhimata. And so what I think that I am experiencing myself as karta bhokta, and so that is my nature. Mithya pratyaya gruhitasya. What is the reason why I take myself as karta bhokta? Because that's what I experience myself to be. And I directly experience myself as karta bhokta, so I take myself to be so and so. Upadesha matrat for this fellow. For Lord Rama, I am not Vishnu, that's all. But other than that, but here, these fellows I am karta and bhokta, sukhi, dukhi. Upadesha matra, you are Brahman. Aham brahmasmi iti nirvichikitsam ganam katham sambhavyate. Rama is drishtanta and this fellow is darshtanta. There is no comparison. So what happens with Rama cannot happen to this fellow. Katham sambhavyate. Iti ashankya sambhavyate. So what you require is not mahamahimnatvam. Shodhita tvam padarthasya pumsaha. Here the listener, such as Shvetaketu, is shodhita tvam padartha. That padartha anvaya viveka vitarika is done. Padartha is karta, bhokta, etc. And so anvaya vitarika, that I am sakshi, so I am drashta, sakshi. By excluding what I am not. Shodhita tvam padarthasya pumsaha. Let it be an ordinary person, otherwise ordinary. But he has done this exercise of recognizing himself as different from karta bhokta. That karta bhokta also are pratyayas. And I am eliminator of even the karta bhokta. Karta bhokta is sakshina eva. Evam eva ahamadi lakshana. So that is what is required. Not that you have to be as great as Lord Rama for gaining this knowledge. If you need the greatest, that this greatest, that you should be able to do this anvaya vitarika, padartha, that what I am not. That I take myself karta bhokta because that's what I experience with an idea. I inquire. Do I have reason to take myself as karta bhokta? This karta is a product of what? Identification. With buddhi, bhokta also is product of identification. When that identification is given, then who am I? So karta is, I am sakshi, evam eva, aham adilakshitasya. So aham shabdasya ya nishtha. The lakshyartha of the word aham ultimately resolves into the sakshi of karta bhokta. Aham I take as karta bhokta. But when I am told to inquire into that and see is that your nature, then I what is the unnegatable aspect, unnegatable part of myself? Yes, sakshi also comes and goes. I mean, bhokta also comes and goes. Karta also comes and goes. Aham karta, karta aham asmi, bhokta aham asmi, sukhi. All that goes. Aham asmi, aham asmi, aham asmi, aham asmi. And aham asmi is self-effulgent. Self-existent, self-effulgent, aham is there. That alone is non-negatable, abadhitam. They call it lakshita, lakshyartha. So Brahmatma, who is being told you are Brahman? Not this helpless creature is told that you are Brahman, otherwise it won't work. But the one who has carried out this Anvaya Vyatireka and recognized that Karta Bhokta is not my essential nature. In essential nature, I am the Sakshi, the witness, the illuminator. This is possible even for a modern, helpless creature. He can do this. You don't have to Mahamahima Rama to do that. So in that aspect, the Drishtanta, Dashtanta work. Upadhi, no. Lord Rama, by Upadhi I can never compare. But the state that Lord Rama acquires and the state I can acquire can be similar. So Lord Krishna also would say that in Gita, and more than once in fact, that परित्राणाय साधूना विनाशाय दुष्कृताम धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय समय युगे युगे एवं जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम एवं यो वेत्ति तत्वतः. Bhagavan comes for paritranaya sadhana vinashaya. That you can't do. But janma and karma Bhagavan is divya. That we can know. And same applies to me also. So in that sense, there is equality with Bhagavan also. Therefore we can gain the same knowledge that Bhagavan has. This is what is meant here. Aham adi shabda laksheta se brahmatva upadeshat nanupatti. Therefore, he is not the helpless creature who is told you are Brahman. He is the one who has seen himself as Sakshi. He is told that that's what you take, what is Sakshi is none other than Brahman. Sadasi eva vakyena sayava nishtha ukta iti sambandha. Therefore, sadasi, by that same nishtha. Nishtha vaham shabda, which is Sakshi, witness, is what is said here when you say you are Sat. Sat means that Sakshi, which is nishtha vaham shabda. Evam avagata padartha tattvasya vakyadeva samula samsara nivritti phalajnanam phalam jnanam jayateva. Evam, in this manner, avagata padartha tattvasya. So padartha tattvam. Atma is pada. Padartha is what? Drashta, Sakshi. So tattvasya avagata. Avagatam padartham padartha tattvam yena saha. So one who has known the Tattvam, the essential nature of the meaning of the Pada Atma, then when he is told you are Brahman, then result is Vimukti. Samula samsara nivritti phalam jnanam jayate. And therefore, he said that, so tatra vimuk phalam tatra vimuktata. For that, samula samsara nivritti phalam jnanam jayate. Samula samsara nivritti phalam yasya. That knowledge of which the outcome is the cessation of entire samsara, that knowledge arises. Jayate eva, certainly arises. That is why evakara also, sa eva ukta sadasiti evam phalam tatra vimuktata. The evakara can also be jayate eva. That knowledge does arise. It is sthite. Now, Shute pramanya siddhyartham. So this is what Shruti says, sadasi, tattvamasi. But what does tattvamasi mean? Pramanya siddhyartham, literally it means something that is already existing. Asi, you are. It is a verb of being, not a verb of becoming. Usually verb means some action, kriyapada. But are, so to be is a verb of being, not a verb of action. So Shruti only reveals what is. That is where the pramanya of Shruti is. But then somebody can interpret, then it has been interpreted that no, it doesn't mean that you are Brahma. You better meditate that you are Brahma, then you will realize you are Brahma. Merely this statement you are Brahma is not enough for you to see that you are Brahma. You just meditate. Or repeat that Aham Brahmasmi, Prasankhyanam it is called. In that case, Tattvamasi does not just reveal what is, it instructs you what you should do. That you must repeat Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. So it's called Karya Paratva. Even though in a statement Tattvamasi there is no verb of injunction, Asi is a verb of being, not of becoming or not of action. But still some people interpret that because they are quite convinced that a Shruti only can tell you to do something. Amnayasya kriyatatvat anarthakyam atadarthanam. Amnaya, Veda can only teach what that you have to do something. Then only Veda is pramanam. If Veda simply reiterates what is, it's not pramanam, it's anuvada, arthavada, etc. So if Tattvamasi says what you are, then it's not pramanam. They think that Veda is pramanam only when it tells you to do something. Shruti pramanya siddhyartham karya paratvam. Shruti or Veda can be pramanam only when it is karya paratvam. Only when the Vakya directly or indirectly only says what is to be done. So there can be Vakya can call Arthavada, which supports the Vidhi. So Vidhi is the primary statement of the Veda, which enjoins you to do something. All the statements are Avantara Vakyas, to be somehow connected with Vidhi, like with Arthavada, Anuvada. So this is what the Mimamsaka say. Shruti pramanya siddhyartham. Shruti can be called pramana only when it is karya paratvam. The Shruti karya paratvam only when Shruti enjoins some action. Karya paratvam kalpyam. So even though this statement Tattvamasi does not involve in a verb of enjoining, but since Shruti can be called pramana only when it enjoins action, therefore here also somehow you imagine that there is some karya involved, some action is being enjoined by the Shruti. Then only it can become Pramana Vakya. Karya Paratam Kalpyam. In a statement, say Tattvamasi, where there is no action, then to recognize that as a Pramana Vakya, you have to see, or you have to explain how it enjoins you to do some action. Iti agraha, that is what the Mimamsaka would insist. Nirarthakaha. Vedanta says that kind of insistence that if Veda Vakya is Pramanam only when it enjoins Kriya is wrong. Nirarthakam. No, it doesn't have to be. You made that proposition, then you fit everything into that, structure. You made a structure. Amnayasta Kriyarthatvat Anarthakyam Atadarthanam. Since Amnaya, Veda is meant only for Kriya, every Vakya, that doesn't directly say Kriya is Anarthakam. So directly or indirectly it must only talk about Kriya. So this also is connected to Kriya. Iti agraha nirarthakaha. Vedanta says that agraha, that insistence on your part, that a statement can be called pramanam, a Vedic statement, only when it enjoins action, is an agraha, an insistence which is nirarthakam, which is meaningless, futile. Why? Vidvat anuva virodhat. Because wise people have the experience that aham brahmasmi. This vakya creates in them this knowledge, and thus is the phalavat vakyam. That phala is what? Samsara nivritti. That happens for wise people. So the next verse is Shrutamatreణ chenna syat karyam tatra bhavet dhruvam vyavaharat purapishtaha sadbhavasvamatmanah. Shrutamatreణ chenna syat. If simply by listening to this statement it does not produce the result of releasing you from samsara, tatra karyam bhavet dhruvam, then certainly you have to do something to gain the result. But here, vyavaharat purapi ishtaha sadbhava. In this case, however, vyavaharat pura, before being told that you are Brahman, already is Brahman. Swam atmana sadbhavats aishtaha. So Brahma idamagrasit, even before being told is Brahman. That means the case, then by listening itself, he knows I am 10th man, I am Brahman. That is why then karya has no scope there. If Shrutamatram, if simply listening to a statement does not produce result, Swargakamo Jyotishtomena Jyoti Yajet. So that Swargakama, one desire of Swarga should perform Jyotishtoma. That doesn't, so Swarga doesn't come simply by listening to the statement. Then some karya that you have to perform, the homa, yaga. But you are Brahman, that doesn't require anything. By listening itself, and listening means understanding that, it creates the result of releasing you from Brahma. A Brahman nivritti. So Swarga Prapti is real Prapti, Apraptasya Prapti. So karma has a scope for Apraptasya Prapti. This is not Apraptasya Prapti, this is merely recognition of Praptam, which is what the knowledge does. So Tika says, Yathokta Nyayena Vakyasya Shutramatrena Ched Uktaphalam Vijnanam Nasyad. Yathokta Nyayena, but the Nyaya that we told you, that this one is already Brahman, and he has carried out the Anvaya Vyatirika of the Padartha. And therefore he is Koham. Then he asks, then he says, Sadasi, you are Sat. then the knowledge takes place. Sutra matrena chet ukta phala jnanam ukta vijnanam na syad. Meaning the knowledge of the statement will not take place simply by listening to it. Tatra tada karyam kalpyam dhruvam avashyam bhavet. Then suddenly you have to imagine some kind of karya for fulfillment of this vakya. You are Brahma. If listening to you are Brahma is not enough, for you to create the knowledge that you are Brahma or to release you from samsara, then you will imagine that something is to be done for being released from samsara. Karyam kalpyam dhruvam avashyam bhavet. Suddenly you will imagine some karya involved. So it is possible that even though there may not be a verb of injunction, you can imagine there is a verb of injunction where the statement otherwise cannot be explained, That's what Bhashyakara has done also in case of sannyasa. Putreshanayasya vitteshanaya lokeshanaya vitthaya sa bhikshacharyam charanti. Bhikshacharam chareyuhu. That's how Bhashyakara will explain. So you show him his own, law and say this is how it should be. So if the statement does not produce knowledge by listening, then statement should necessarily enjoin some action. Then only it's a useful statement. Anyatha arthavada vakyavat swarthi pramanyanupatte. Otherwise it will become arthavada. Arthavada means what? It's praising something. So it has pramanya only in vidhi and not in itself. So then this vakya will fall in the category arthavada. Then we'll have no swarthi pramanyam. Yes, if vakya itself did not do its job, then you have to imagine something. Yetu na tatha kalpyamasti, but here it's not required. Phalasya sadyeva anubhava siddhatvat. Because phala is what the samsara vimukti is an immediate phala. And that did not happen, then you have to go for some action. It happens. Because there is no samsara, it's a Brahma. So it's Brahma nivritti. If samsara, removal of samsara is the real action, real happening, then some karma is definitely called for. It's not happening. It's a recognition of what is. It's called realization of what is. Swam Jyoti, we already Vakyada said, Nahi drashtuhu drushte iti shloke, Puram adha shloko adhikaha stitaha. Ihava ayam adhayeva shloka iti sahagananiyam. Takes us back to verse 98. Swayam Jyoti Atrayam Purusha Swayam Jyoti Nahi drashtuhu Dvishte Vipralopo Vidyate. These two statements are meant here. So the Tikakara here says Swayam Jyoti Nahi drashtuhu iti shloke Puram adha shloka adhikaha sthitah. So Swayam Jyotir Nahi drashtu itivam samida sthitam is additional verse, extra verse, not required there. Iham va amarda eva shloka iti sagananiyam. Or here this sutamatrena chinnasya tat karyam tatra bhavet dhruvam. Ardeva shloka iti sagananiyam. Then this half a verse should be taken with that, Because, so there are 3 lines in that verse 98. So, But which is dastitam kautastham cha tasyaha. So that is connected to the second line by chakara. Anyway, whatever. Kincha siddhe brahmatmani shastrasya. Now, you say that Tatmamasi is not pramanam. Basically, there is a siddha vishaya. Veda cannot be pramanam siddha vishaya. Veda cannot tell you what is because it already is. Veda can tell you only what is to be achieved. And so, you are Brahman, so you have two lungs. What's the big deal? That knowledge doesn't do anything. So, meaning that the Upadesha of Siddha Vastu does not do anything. You have two eyes, thank you. You have two lungs. So, this Upadesha of Siddha Vishaya, what does it do? Nothing. That's what Mimamsakas say. You are Brahman, you already are Brahman. But here, even though I am Brahman, I take myself quite contrary to Brahman. That is where the problem is, and that creates all the problems. Samsara. So there kincha siddhe brahmatmani shastra sapramanyam. They say that Shastra is not pramanam for siddha vishaya. Shastra is pramanam only karya. When something is done, then only Shastra is pramanyam. So karakam, not only jnapakam. Shastra is karakam. It makes you do something. Then only it is pramanam. Jnapakam shastram is only arthavada or anuvada. So they include Upanishad along with the rest of the Karmakanda. So then we ask them, Shastrasa Pramanyam. Now, what do you mean by saying that Tattvamasi Mahavakya is not Pramanam? Oh, because it only talks about Siddha Vishaya. Alright, talks about Siddha Vishaya, so Pramanam. So Pramanam can be in one of the four ways. So let us examine in which way Tattvamasi is Pramanam. Says Viparyasa Lakshanam Apramanyam Nishfalatvam va Samsaya Lakshanam va Anutpatti Lakshanam va Viparyasa Lakshanam. Does his Vakya produce contrary knowledge? Vakya should produce knowledge of what is. Suppose the Vakya produces knowledge of contrary to what is, then it is Viparyasa Lakshanam. Gives you viruddha, contrary knowledge. Then it's a pramana. Look at the moon, suppose I say, oh, sun is shining and so then it is saying something contrary to what is. In that case, we have to interpret that Vakya will not work as it is. And so the night is shining. Where is night? All day is shining. So thus, when there is a Vakya that is contrary to what is, it will be a Pramanam. So Tattvamasi, that Vakya is a Pramanam because you are Jiva and it says you are Brahman. Viparyasa Lakshanam. Nishfalatvam va. Or Safala. So Pramanam is that which gives a knowledge which is Safalam, which does the job. I am Brahman, so what does it do? Nothing. If by knowing that I am Brahman, it does not put any meaningful outcome to me, then what's the use of that statement? So you mean that this Vakya is Nishphalam, does not produce any meaningful result? Samsaya Lakshanam Samshaya, leaves the doubt, says you are Brahman. What is it? I am Brahman? I am Jiva? Produce Samshaya? Manutpatti Lakshanam va. Say you are Brahman and that knowledge doesn't take place. I am not Brahman. If the clay is told that you are gold, that knowledge will never take place. When ornament is told you are gold, knowledge will take place, but won't take place in case of clay. So who is a Jiva is told that Brahman, that knowledge will not take place? Anupatti Lakshanam. All of these we are Pramanam. Iti vikalpan kramena dushayati. In what way do you say that Tattvamasi is not Pramanam? Does it produce a knowledge contrary to what it is, that I am in fact Jivatma, and that knowledge produces Aham Brahmasmi? That's Brahma. It produces Brahma. Na adya, it cannot be viparyasa lakshanam. Because second line of verse 1 2, Vyavaharat purapishta sadbhava swayamahatmanah. Vyavaharat purapi. Purapi, before the Vyavahara, before the teaching Tattvamasi. Atmana sadbhava swayam ishta. Atma is Sat. Even before he is being told that you are Sat. And therefore, it cannot be viparyasa. He is already Sat. And therefore, the knowledge that I am Asat cannot take place. Aham Brahmasmiti Shastrovadesha Vyavaharat Pura Puravi Atmana Swayameva Sadbhava Ishtaha. So before being taught that you are Brahman, already is Brahman. How do you say? Bhadak abhavat. No, that fellow says I am not Brahman. But that fellow, I say I am not Brahman. When you say I am not Brahman, what do you mean by I? I am not Brahman, I was born, but that is body. No, I am an engineer, I am a doctor, I am so on, that's your intellect. So whatever notions I am entertaining about myself, all of them can be traced to one or the other layer of the personality. They are of Brahma. So this knowledge that Brahman does not create Brahma, it removes Brahma. And therefore there is no badhaka. Once a person comes to know I am Brahman, there is nothing that can prove that he is not Brahman. When he comes to know that I am the 10th man, he recognizes what the Brahma was, that Brahma Nivrutti has taken place, nothing now again the Brahma will not be created. Ignorance created the Brahma or the Viparita Jnanam. When ignorance is gone, there is nothing to create Brahma now. Therefore Brahma cannot come back, you follow? Bhadak abhavat. Oh no, he woke up in the morning, he recognized I am a jiva. Cannot be. If Aham Brahmasmi is clear, then when you wake up, then also you are Brahman. And when you are walking, talking, eating, whenever it is, that you are Brahman is never negated by anything. Tasmad yathavastita atmasruvasyeva shrutya nivedanat. Therefore Shruti merely presents the nature of Atma as it is. Shruti does not make you Brahman. Shruti presents Brahman which is already your nature. Na Shukti Rupya Jnanavad Apramanyam. Shukti Rupya. What is Shukti is taken as Rupyam or silver. So that is Brahma. But then Shukti is told you are Shukti. Then you know that I am Shukti, that's not Brahma. Meaning that Tattvamasi Mahavakya is not apramanam by producing contrary knowledge. Nishphalatvam does not produce any result. So, next verse is Nadvitiya Anubhava Virodhat. Not that it is Nishphalam. That Vakya doesn't do anything also is not right because there is Anubhava of many wise people that they experience liberation. So next verse is Ashanayadi nirmuktye tatkala jayate prama tattvamasyadi vakyarthe tishu kaleshva samshayah. Ashanayadi nirmuktye. Ashanaya pipasavanamaham. So this is samsara where I take myself to be hungry and thirsty, suffering from old age and death, grief and delusion. So that is samsara. Then Ashanaya pipasa shokam moham jaram mrityum atyeti. When you are told that you are atita, you transcend. Ashanayadi nirmuktye. That is called samsara when I take myself to be ashanaya pipasavan. I am hungry, I am thirsty. That notion about me is called samsara because I am suffering. Tat kala jayate prama. That you transcend ashanaya pipasa shokam moham jara mrityum atyeti. Right away I see. Because I am ready. With what? With that anuvaya vitireka. Tat kala jayate prama. As the Vakya is being told, the Prama, the true knowledge takes place. Tatmasyadi Vakyate Tishu Kaleshu Asamshaya. Therefore, there cannot be samshaya or doubt with reference to the meaning of this statement, Tattvamasi. So, Tatkala Prama Jayate. Tatkala is the Visheshana of Prama. So, Aptavakya Shravanakala Kalosya Sa Tatkala. Tatkala Prama Jayate. The Prama is born right at that time. Which time? Aptavakya Shravanakala hai. As soon as Aptavakya Shravanam takes place, that you are Sat, you are Brahman, right then. The Prama, Ham Brahmasmi, that true knowledge takes place right then. Tvam Dashmamasi, right then, because then he realizes that taking my other than Dashma was the Brahman. Meaning that his mind is otherwise ready to drop this Brahman. Because of Anvaya Vyatireka, etc., then he sees himself as Sakshi, then that Sakshi is Brahman is possible to see. Tat kala prama ashanayadi nirmukti ashanayadi upalakshita samsarasya nirmukti. So ashanayadi, by that what you should understand, what is implied by ashanayadi? Samsara. Ashanayadi upalakshita samsarasya. Samsara means where I feel ashanaya pipasavanaham. And so that samsarasya nirmukti. Nivrutyartham jayate. Prama. That Prama, that Aham Brahmasmi, or Ashanaya Pipasa Atitoham, that arises, which removes the samsara right when this Upadesha is given, Sadasi. Vidusham Pratyakshameva etadayati. Because the wise people know, wise people have discovered themselves as free from Ashanaya Pipasa on as a result of, in response to this teaching that you are Sat, you are Brahman. Ataha na nishphalatva shanka. If nobody ever gained this knowledge, if nobody ever got liberated, then you can say this seems to be all, has anybody got knowledge? Has anybody got this knowledge, Brahman? Is there a state of prajna? That there have been, there will be. Therefore, na nishphalatva shanka avakasha. Therefore, in any case, I would not care whether somebody has realized or not. The statement makes sense. And therefore, if somebody did not, you cannot say in history nobody ever found, there are any number of wise people. Show me one person, I may not show you. Suppose, that doesn't make it wrong. So, nirmukti, nivrutyartham, if I say this wise person, then he'll start 1500 other questions, Then why is he walking and talking? Why is he walking on the earth? Why is he, doing normal? So then, all kinds of questions will arise. Well, he has his own idea what a wise person is. He thinks that a wise person is walk 6 inches above the earth or something. He's only just an ordinary person. How can he be wise? So, I don't care there is any wise person or not. This statement has to be true. Makes sense? The nishphalatva shanka avakasa ityartha. Therefore, this statement nishphalam does not produce result. No, there is no avakasa or the occasion that this statement doesn't produce its result. Or samshaya lakshanam va, does it create samshaya? Trutinapi anuvaviruddhe nirakarati. So tattvasya vakyatre trishu kaleshu asamshaya. This simple statement of being. If you say that you will reach the Swarga, there can be questions, But here, statement of what is. Therefore, asamshaya, samshayo nasti ityartha. In all the three periods of time, there cannot doubt in the meaning of a statement which states what is. That's all. If it says something that is elsewhere at different time, different place, different conditions, that, an astrologer says you will become a billionaire or something like that. A different time, different place, then there can be questions. But you are what you are, then there can. So they make you see what you are, then there is no doubt. Samsho nasti ityartha. So viparyasa lakshana apramanyam, nishvaratva lakshana apramanyam, and samsaya lakshana apramanyam, these three have been dismissed by the reasoning of force also. We'll come to the next verse, we'll see. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purna Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Shanti Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.